Try again. Welcome to Adam Does Movies Live. God, every time. I'm doing like 4 things at once. I'm bringing up the video, which isn't working on my phone because my guest, Tom, said that I asked him, Tom, I'm using a new camera. Does it look better than the last couple awful episodes? He's like, yeah. He wasn't he didn't give me any confidence. So I'm trying to see, but no, it's not working on my phone. So I don't even know if the live stream works. We're just going to assume it's not and just go from there. I hope you guys are having a good Tuesday night. I think it's Tuesday. Jesus. Yeah, we had Monday off, so everything is just a blur. I went to the ocean a few times with my family. Got pretty burned, raccooned under the eyes. Some wise guys. Oh, by the way, I have a rant on going to the beach on my second channel, Adam Does Rants. Absolutely check that out. It's hilarious, and maybe subscribe to the channel while you're there. But some wise guy said, hey, Adam, here's a pro tip. Maybe wear sunglasses just some of the time, not all of the time. Well, what the jackass doesn't know is I didn't wear sunglasses at all, but I have a caveman forehead ridge. If you see this, so the sun hits here and then it just completely misses because I'm shadowed by my giant caveman forehead ridge. So the joke's on me at the end of the day. Anyway, spiel aside, got a fun show. Not only did I put out a couple rants on the second channel, I also have a new video on the main channel I posted today on the Lord of the Rings of Power Season 2, and how I will not be watching it because I just can't bring myself to do it. I'm going to bring Tom on really quick now since, you know, he might have some input on the Rings of Power. I'm sure he's a huge fan and he's super excited about watching it still. Tom, how you doing, sir?
I'm honestly still processing your forehead. If I'm being honest, like it felt like an optical illusion. You turned your head, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah. It just keeps going. It just keeps going out.
You have like a natural baseball cap, like for a head. Like, you know, good for you, man. Not all of us have that power.
It's not something I'm really proud of, but it's there, and it's it's distinct.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly distinct. That's for sure.
That's why I don't get caricatures. You know, when you could go to those booths where people would draw you and they
don't understand because they're like, I can't do that. Like,
how am I supposed to?
Like, how am I supposed to draw this?
What am I supposed to do here? You leave me nothing to go on.
The guy drops his pencils. Like,
the guy like puts a second piece of paper and he just keeps drawing the forehead out more. Did you have any interest in Rings of Power?
I gave the first season a shot. I gave it like 3 or 4 episodes, and I was just so not into it. So I heard it didn't really get much better, but then I hear this new season's pretty solid, I guess. But I don't know. It's a lot for me to go back and watch, so I probably won't be revisiting it.
I tried. I tried,
man. I tried.
I kind of primed my audience and this channel because with the Acolyte, the Crapolite, I went through and watched them all and did these like roasts. I did these roasts because they're like 24-minute episodes, easy to watch and to kind of make fun of. And so I did the same thing with Rings of Power. I'm like, hey, who's ready for Rings of Power? Do you want me to roast this one too? And the poll was obviously yes more than no. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch Rings of Power. 20 minutes in, I just couldn't do it. I'm like, this isn't worth.
You're like,
this isn't worth the views or anything.
I think I was writing checks I couldn't cash. It's fine.
Yeah. Exactly. Who's excited for these roasts?
Yeah, and you're like, not me. I'm not doing it.
So I'm like, how do I at least get some revenue out of this crappy show? So I just did a
Right.
video saying how I'm not going to watch the show. It's like the laziest way you could possibly make content, but you know, whatever, it works.
It's where it pays to be your own boss on that one.
Is this really something we need a video on? Hey,
It's like,
you
is
know
this
what?
really something? It's like your own round table. There's just different yous and different shirts.
It's me talking to the mirror. Yeah. Who am I anymore? I don't know. But we are desperate for
you got
some
one of those
subscribers.
mirrors that can like fold out. So there's like
Oh,
three
yeah.
of you.
Yeah. Do it, Adam. No, don't, Adam.
No, you don't
It's
want to
just
do it, Adam.
the
There's
angels
60-minute
on the-
episodes, Adam. But the views, the money, the revenue.
the subscriptions you could get from this. Okay.
Anyway, enough about the past.
Yeah, enough about today. Enough about earlier today.
Yeah.
You know, there was supposed to be other people on this live stream that I presented to people today. I asked Tom like 5 minutes ago, "Hey, you want to come on the channel?"
Yeah.
Come on the
Lucky I
live
was free. Otherwise, this would have been a solo dolo adventure, my
I
guy.
was like, well, I literally have nothing else to do anymore, so I suppose I can come on this shit show.
The other camera would just have been a mirror reflection of you.
Well, yeah, I would have just had the mirrors up.
Yeah,
It would have been the
I
three of me
don't see why
again.
not.
People are at the Beetlejuice premiere. That's the thing.
Yeah, because we're not special. So
well, everybody knows that we're not special.
yeah, I mean, come on.
But it's kind of like we're there because I can present to you some of the early reviews.
Oh wow, you don't say.
Using the power of technology.
Wow.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow, look at this.
Isn't that amazing?
Look at this.
Look at this. It moves
Oh my
around.
God.
Janky. I went to the top critics because honestly, no other critics matter outside of the top critics.
I was about to say the same thing, so I'm glad we're on the same page.
I mean, if Alison Wilmore says this is a movie, Alison Wilmore, of course, famously known for working at New York Magazine / Vulture. Famously. If she says Beetlejuice manages to avoid the feeling that its only obligation is to dutifully run through everything familiar one more time, God, this is the longest sentence ever. Instead, watching it is a small but significant relief. Oh, like reconnecting with an estranged friend. That seems
okay. All right. I like that. I like
kind of positive. But then Jeffrey McNabb, famously from Independent, there are wonderful gags and some enjoyably grotesque clowning from star Michael Keaton, but Burton's visuals and visual inventiveness hasn't deserted him. Did he say? Oh, while I'm sorry, I can't read. But his ability to tell a coherent story is very much in doubt.
It's like when you get called on in class to read, all of a sudden it just goes all out the window. Any sort of reading skill.
Oh my God, my eyes are truly shot because I work on my computer all day with my real job as a web designer and developer, and then I do more shit in front of a camera. So I am truly blind now. Last year, at this same time, I had 20/20 vision. Now, anything that's even this far away is hard for me to read. It's getting really terrible. I got to get readers at the least.
Nice. These don't even have lenses, so.
Did you always have glasses?
What? I only use them for distance, but these are just like blue light glasses because like the computer screen hurts my eyes. If I
you're trying to actually protect your eyes?
Yeah, I'm actually trying to protect my eyes. Yeah, I'm actually trying to do the opposite, Adam. Yeah.
Ooh, blue screen. Put it right into my eyeballs. Yes. So now I can't. So now I can't read. So thanks, Tom, for bringing that up.
No problem. I like to twist knives.
All right, who else do we have here that I care? John Nugent.
Oh, my God.
Everybody knows John Nugent from
Johnny
Empire.
Boy.
Michael Keaton, barely aging a day in his panda-eyed. Let's enhance. Can we enhance?
Wow, we can enhance? Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? You had this ability the entire time?
Enhance more. Oh, good.
Ooh,
this is
oh my God. Is this what 4DX is?
This is it. You know what's funny is not even like 10 years ago, we would make fun of that stuff in detective movies and TV shows where they'd be like enhance, and they would zoom in and the picture would get more clear. Now it truly does get more clear.
Yeah, I know. Like honestly, that like significantly helped.
Yeah. Okay, so he's barely aged a day. If anything, seems to have more energy than he did 35 years ago, bouncing off the purgatorial walls with hilarious gusto, lifting everything around him.
I was today years old when I learned that purgatorial was a word.
I'm not sure it is, but John Nugent used it.
Jury's out. John Nugent breaking boundaries.
Let's get another negative in here to kind of keep things even Stevens. Ooh, but I don't know what that word is.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Come
on. Well, any credibility's out the window now.
Beetlejuice. I'm sure this is a play on a real word that a lot of people know, but I don't. Everyone knows that to summon Beetlejuice, You simply have to say his name 3 times loud. Oh, wait, isn't this actually how you spell his name? I'm an idiot. That's how you spell it. It's been a million years since I've seen it. This belated follow-up left me wondering how many times you'd have to say it to make him go away for good. That's right. That's how you.
He probably probably really loved that he wrote that. Probably really did.
Well, and he got the nerd cred by spelling his name the correct way.
Yeah, he got you. He got you me. Good.
Robbie Collin just rewatched it for the first time before going to the new film, which is probably what I'm going to do as well. Richard Lawson says, a rat's nest of callbacks and plot so jumbled and overstuffed, it's almost abstract. It's yet another legacy sequel that serves as a sad testament of the original film's ingenuity. It's funny. Yikes. Richard has this take because wasn't it just up here, mere minutes back, that Allison says it avoids the feeling that it's...
I don't know what to think now.
I think it's going to be one of those things where if you love Beetlejuice, you might love this one. But if you're a cynical prick like I am, you might not like it as much. Here's the thing, though. I really liked not Alien Covenant. I hated Alien Covenant shit. I really liked Alien Romulus. And it was rife with callbacks, riddled with them, one could say.
Yeah.
But it was okay because I like and Beetlejuice looks... You know what? We should really just be done with this, Tom. I'm going to segue into something else really quick.
All right, you go for it, man.
Tom, what are your thoughts on the whole soft reboot trend? You cool with it? You hate it?
I like when it's not like overly trying to ape the original film. Like, I like what Twisters did in that it shares the same name, but it was definitely trying to do its own thing. Like, it had very minor callbacks to the original movie, no like original characters. Like, I enjoyed that because it still felt like Twister, but it was also different. Like, that's my ideal soft reboot. So if Beetlejuice can like not give us too many callbacks and actually tell a really fun, quirky story, I'm on board for that and I want that. But like the soft reboot trend that we've been seeing, I think a lot of these movies tend to play it too safe with all the callbacks because they feel like they're losing the audience if they try to do something different. But if you have the confidence to actually have some homages but still do your own distinct thing, that's the sweet spot. And I think, movies like Twisters, they're brave enough to go into that territory when most of these soft reboots don't.
I think that's fair, and I agree. And I do think a good soft reboot like Alien Romulus, I know some people absolutely hate it, but I think the majority of critics are liking it, and audiences seem to really like it. Regular movie audiences, not like the nerds on the internet that live and breathe film like we do. I think a great one like that holds up all ships. So there was callbacks in Romulus to a bunch of the other Alien films, and that gets people, and some of them are a little odd, but that gets people to kind of go back and look at those movies, even maybe appreciate them if they didn't before. They might get a newfound respect. And so I think in that sense, soft reboot can actually work. And I also just like the idea of, listen, we screwed up a lot. We're going to kind of reset things from a point that people look at fondly. Whether it's Halloween going back to Halloween 2, but then titling it Halloween because stupid. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Or Prey, the Predator, I guess it's a prequel, going back to the simple formula of one person versus one predator. That stuff all, and just focusing on really tight visuals and cool action spectacle, I think it works wonders. Force Awakens set that table, it set that standard. And I think ever since then, we've been getting kind of, like you said, some safe ones, but also safe and familiar are pretty solid for everyday moviegoers. That's what they want. And then I think where it really matters is that follow-up film. So if we get Alien Romulus 2 and it's just another Aliens movie, people are going to roll their eyes and they're going to get sick of that crap.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm very interested to see, because Dan Trachtenberg, who directed Prey, he's making the follow-up now, I think called Badlands, I think. So he's making a sequel to Prey. So I'm hoping that he maintains what he had in that first film and delivers like a really fun follow-up. I'm just hoping it's not like a full-on Predator movie that tries to do too many callbacks, which I don't think he's going to do, but I am still a little bit nervous, yeah.
Danny Glover's in it. It takes place in the city. It's just the same.
It's like super hot.
I remember these guys.
Adrian Brody shows up for no reason.
Lawrence Fishburne's back.
That's a deep cut for everybody.
Well, I was with you. Lawrence Fishburne's in it too.
Oh my God.
Fun fact, did you know Lawrence Fishburne was supposed to be played by Arnold Schwarzenegger in that movie, in Predators?
Really? Interesting.
Would have been great. Yeah, he was supposed to be, reprising his role.
That would well, actually, I'm happy for Arnold Schwarzenegger for not being in that movie. So,
The first 2/3 are really good.
It's not bad.
It falls apart in that final act. Yeah, until Topher Grace is suddenly like, I'm the villain.
Yeah, I don't know why Hollywood just for some reason decided to pick like 2007 to 2010 to make Topher Grace like a villain, because the dude just couldn't do it.
Every time, but he's the superior Venom. Sadly, that's true. Yeah. He's the superior Venom, I think. Okay, let's get to the main topic of the night, which is going to be Chattelbash, which, by the way, that's still the best last name ever.
Thank you
Tom
so much.
Chattelbash. I love it. It's just amazing. Anyway, Chattelbash and I have put together, we've prepared 5 movies each. I think he has a bonus 6th one.
I think I do.
Of our own soft reboots that we would like to see. Or maybe not necessarily like to see, but since it's inevitable that Hollywood's going to redo everything anyways, we might as well get out in front of it. Maybe give them a couple ideas.
Yeah.
Tom, do you want to get the ball rolling? You're going to present to me in any order one of your picks. You're going to give me a method to how this could possibly be approached. Okay. And I'll tell you whether I think it's a trash idea or a good one.
And then I can tell you to either go fuck yourself or thank you for agreeing.
I think it's a thank you for agreeing, or wow, your ideas are really great, Adam.
Okay.
Oh, and one more thing, people, if you have your own, please put them in super chats, because at the end, we'd love to read off your thought for a franchise that could be soft rebooted, revisited, sequelized, whatever. We'll read them off. We'll present it like you're a king and we're just peasants.
Exactly. All right, because we are just peasants.
We are. Yeah.
So my first pick, I feel like this is like a layup for Hollywood. I just feel like they're too scared to do it right now for some reason, because I think of PC culture. And I think we should have the scary movie franchise back. Like, why are we not having scary movies? Like, what happened to the spoof genre? I think those 2 guys who made Date Movie, Meet the Spartans, and Vampires Suck killed that genre. I think they did. I think they single-handedly killed that genre that was like booming with, all those scary movie like, which were just so much fun. At least most of them were. And then they got
the satirical comedy of the parody comedies. You have everything.
I miss those movies.
Naked Gun, Hot Shots.
I mean, I feel like Hollywood kind of tested the waters a little bit last year with, what was it called? I think The Blackening, which was kind of like making fun of like a lot of those kinds of movies, but it was kind of like testing the waters a little bit, but it didn't do well enough to really make a big splash. But I feel like if you get like you really need good writers for this. This is a movie that hinges on.
I swear I saw they were doing another
I've heard rumblings, but I feel like I haven't seen anything like confirmed or anything. Like, I think like a lot of rumors, but like if you got like, writers like say like a Phil Lord and a Chris Miller, people who know how to write snappy dialogue, who know those genres well, or even get people who are in the horror genre, like maybe the dark comedy genre, and just try to get them to take a stab at it. I feel like we could get something really fun and engaging. And I think in terms like those movies were huge hits. So I'm really shocked that Hollywood hasn't tried to emulate those and try to make some more money, with that IP. But yeah, I would love to see that franchise return, especially with like the new kind of vibe of horror, like with, Jordan Peele movies and a lot of these movies, like, like Long Legs or Smile or, the Insidious movies.
Yeah,
like
the
just stuff
subversion,
like that.
The subversion horror genre.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like you could have a blast with all of that. So I think like that was the first one that immediately sprang to mind where I was like, I would love to see a new scary movie.
I agree with this. I think that's a solid premise and idea. I think I'll one up your idea a little bit and just, well, you mentioned him. I think the perfect writer and director for this would be Jordan Peele. The man has done comedy for most of his career.
Seems like he doesn't want to do comedy anymore, which is
but it's comedy horror. I mean, he can even kind of riff on his own films that he's been doing, which are fantastic.
if he did that'd be amazing.
I mean, it would be amazing. It would be so like self-referential. It could be hilarious. You bring back Key, throw him in the. You kind of have these guys. You put them both in the movie too. Just have fun with it. I like it. I like it a lot.
Sweet.
Okay, I'm gonna give you my number 5 here.
Please don't say Back to the Future. I will leave.
Back to the Future is not on this list, but I did make a joke. I had like a skit thing I was doing for a while, failed of course, but where I was like a douchey pitch guy, and I said we're gonna do a new Back to the Future, tentatively titled Front to the Past, and it's gonna be about Marty McFly's daughter Maggie McFly. And Melissa McCarthy is going to play the new Doc.
Front to the past. Sorry, I got to get over that hurdle before I even start listening to anything else. Oh my God.
It's just a complete gender swap with Maggie McFly as the daughter. It's just terrible.
Oh my God.
Biff could be Biff could be the really funny actress, actually. Who's the one that used to be the the coach in Glee. She was
Jane Lynch.
Yeah, Jane Lynch.
Yeah.
She would be a good Biff. Anyway, because you have to gender swap.
Got a gender swap at this point. Yeah.
All right, my real pick is Goonies. I'm calling it Goonies Never Say Die. Of course, riffing off the one of the catchphrases from the original film. Okay. This is going to be a Pass the Torch sequel. The original cast is going to return in parental form, of course. They're all getting older, but we have some prominent players here. These actors have kind of seen various degrees of success. Josh Brolin obviously blowing up for a while. What's his nuts? Charlie had a little stint in Stranger Things. Plus Data, he just had Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Man. He's blowing up, man.
Yeah, they're blowing up. We're going to have... I had a good line. It's going to be straight up ripping off Star Wars Force Awakens. One of the kids is going to say, I heard stories about the map, One-Eyed Willie, a pirate ship full of gold.
Oh, I can see that in the trailer already.
And then it's going to cut to Charlie. It's true. All of it. Yeah, just the straight up Harrison Ford Han Solo.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, these kids are going to go off their own misadventure. Obviously, the old dogs are going to have to come in and bail them out in the second or third act, and then they'll join up with them. Incredibly easy, wash, rinse, repeat shit. Fans will love it. Audiences will eat it up. Goonies hasn't been alive and well for a long time. Let's bring them back. Let's bring them all back.
I love the title. I just don't want the movie. Like, honestly, I would say like the title is great. Like, honestly, that's the perfect title for if they were gonna like reboot it. But like, I think we talked about this last time. It's weird that this movie keeps coming up. That I'm not the biggest fan of the original movie. So if anyone would want a reboot, it's probably me. If someone maybe like that,
it's not a reboot. It's a soft reboot.
Sorry, soft reboot. But it's just like, oh man, you would really have to cast like the perfect kids. For that movie, which I feel like it's going to be tough nowadays because it's tough to find really likable kid actors. And then, having the original players come back, that'll be fun.
How old are these fucking Stranger Things kids? Can we get Millie?
Yeah, I know. Literally, like all my mind jumped to is like the Stranger Things kids, but like their voices have dropped 4 octaves since that first season.
It wouldn't work. You got to get brand new fresh faced kids.
You got to get fresh faced kids. And I don't know. It just. No, I don't want it.
Tom's on board. We're both one for one right now. Totally. Okay.
But honestly, I could see that being a huge hit, though. Honestly,
it's going to be it's going to be a big hit. I just gave him the idea. It's happening.
Yep, it's in there. It's in the zeitgeist now.
Damn it! I used the word zeitgeist in my notes in a later video.
Sucks to suck.
Yep. All right, let's see what you got next.
All right, let's see. Which one do I want to pick? Okay. All right. Again, this one is another one I think that's pretty easy layup that like I feel like they tried to do a soft reboot of and it had great potential, but it sucked. And that's A Nightmare on Elm Street. I think I'm sure Blumhouse at some point will come out of the woodworks and have their own Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th movies.
Sure.
But that 2010 remake of Nightmare on Elm Street sucked chunks.
Yeah.
And it sucks because Jackie Earle Haley was inspired casting for Freddy Krueger, especially if you're going to try to replace Robert Englund. He was a pretty solid choice, but they gave him nothing to do, and they tried to make it overly serious, and it just wasn't good. Nightmare on Elm Street movies are supposed to be super, visceral and gory, but also fun. Freddy Krueger loves toying with his victims, and that's part of why people love watching those movies. Bring it back, but we need a better director. We need someone who's really solid. Like I would love to see like the guys who did Talk to Me, that horror movie, which I think is super great.
Oh, that's great.
I would love to see them directed. I think take a stab at it, or even someone like Parker Finn who's done the Smile movies. I think he has a ton of potential, and I feel like his vibe would definitely fit with that kind of material. Or even someone like maybe like a Mike Flanagan. That's an easy layup choice. Someone who's great in the horror genre and definitely knows how to give you some good scares. But like bring this franchise back, and it really just hinges on who do you want to play Freddy Krueger, and that's the only thing I've been struggling to come up with in my mind, just because it's such an iconic character and you need someone who can be scary but also really charming. So, I mean, if you have anyone in mind, by all means, throw it out there. But I think we should bring this franchise back.
I mean, I think we can all agree that Zendaya can pretty much do anything. That's what the internet has told
Timothy
me.
Chalamet, everybody.
Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, they're perfect all around people. Let's just throw one of them in the role. They'll be fine. As Freddy. Yeah. No, I think this is a great idea. I do agree that last attempt was pretty bad. Didn't they make him like a child predator?
Yeah, they made him like a predator. Yeah,
it wasn't quite the fun, scary vibe you want from your villain. It was more like, oh god, Freddy's in the room. Yeah, no, I didn't like that. But that's a solid pick, a safe one, I would say.
Yeah, I'm getting my safe ones out of the gate.
Get the safe one out. I'm going all. I guess this is pretty safe and probably inevitable, although it did just have an animated, I don't know if it was a movie or a show, but the Gremlins recently came back in animated form. It looked horrible, but it was gearing at a really, really young audience for some reason, which also, what's the demographic you're going after? You're trying to hit Gizmo with the little kids that don't know what the hell Gremlins is.
Tough. It is. That's a tough tone to hit.
Yeah, so the Gremlins one, takes place in a small town. Second one is primarily in a giant indoor city, this crazy mall complex. I'm thinking the third one's set in a small town, kind of rural, but we're going to have a mall. It's going to take place in the 90s after the second film. We are going to have a new cast, though. This is going to be the Twisters situation, where it's going to feel very similar to the first, but you're not really going to have a ton of callbacks, not really any actors showing up. Although it's weird that Helen Hunt didn't show up as the mom in that second in Twisters. That was really weird. They seemed like they were teasing it, and then she never.
Honestly, I'm glad they didn't do it. I'm honestly glad they didn't do it. I was like, good for you. You didn't use a single original character. I mean,
I'm glad they didn't, but why did they make the reveal so? they like kind of built it up. Like, oh, my mom wants her for dinner. Yeah, and they did like the shoe shot going up to the face. Like, look who it is. Generic actress that was in some stuff.
Hey, how dare you?
Here we go.
Besmirch Maura Tierney.
Here we go. I know I've seen her before. She's one of those actresses that's definitely been around.
I've watched Liar Liar so many times that her face is just like ingrained into my head.
That's
where you know her from. I know it's what you know because that's where everybody knows her from.
Well, she's like one of those reliable kind of pretty actresses that just kind of does a good job showing up.
Oh, she was great in the fuck was it the Iron Claw? She was fantastic in that.
The mom, that's right. Oh my god,
dude, I'm like rocking your world right now.
It's all washing over me now. It's all just coming together. The Iron Claw, yeah, okay. I love the Iron Claw. I've already seen it like 3 times. Okay, so the gimmick here, the second one had all the different gremlin types. We're not doing that, but since this is still 90s, we can really get into the nostalgia of the 90s. You could have gremlins going by on inlines, on rollerblades. Maybe one of them's got some Zubas on. But we're going to dig more into the horror side of it. So it's going to be humor secondary, horror first and foremost. Gizmo's going to have some screen time. He's going to be cute as shit. We're going to use practical effects on this bad boy.
Okay, yep, that was my one question. I was like, if we go CGI, I'm out.
No, you're going old school on this. It's retro all around.
I really like. I like Gremlins. I've never been like the biggest fan. Like, I think they're enjoyable. I would love to see that story set in like a nostalgia store. Yeah. Like, I could totally see that being like the opening kind of like inciting incident where like they just kind of break free in that store or something, and you can like have all this great 90s nostalgia stuff or 80s nostalgia stuff like rolling around.
You got like Cabbage Patch Kids on a wall. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think a good chunk of it would take place in a 90s mall. Then you could have them going through like the arcade area. You could have them go through, there's just a lot you could do with this. And Gremlins is probably the most 90s property I can think of.
Yeah, it's pretty quintessentially 90s for sure. Yeah. Wow, I'm like shocked that we're actually like agreeing about a lot of this.
Yeah. Well, you weren't on Goonies, but you also don't like Goonies that much, so it's fair. I think it's
at
fair.
least I was open to it. So
you were open, yeah. I could change your mind with it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, go on. It's your turn. Go on now.
So this
what
one,
you got?
This one I would like. This one's a little bit.
Wait, I
out
lost
there.
Your audio, Tom.
Oh no, am I back?
You have no audio.
No audio.
Did I lose audio? Oh my god, what's happening?
I don't know. Oh,
are you there?
I mean, it says my mic's working. I see levels.
I don't know if you have audio. I got to look now on the stream. Guys, does Tom have audio?
Someone says
you
they can hear
Tom.
Me.
Okay, so I can't hear Tom.
Yes, your earpiece from 2003 apparently is letting you down.
Tom, you can keep talking.
All right. So this is where I just tell you all the reasons why Adam is just not a great dude and why he should just not listen to anything he has to say. It's just kind of a bummer being here, if I'm being honest. Just, pretend like I'm saying really nice things. Like, just tell him that I'm telling you guys that he's the best person ever, that he's the best critic.
All right, I'm going to bail on my own stream and jump back in.
He also has a tramp stamp, like right back here. It's of a pretty gnarly butterfly. It's pretty scary. So yeah, why don't we just like, I don't know, just keep talking shit, So let's just make sure that when he comes back, he gets like the warmest welcome. But yeah, like, do you guys have any ideas for franchises that you'd want to see revitalized? I saw some Demolition Man. I saw that one go in there. I mean, this is my stream now. I mean, I am the captain now, so this is what we're doing.
I'm back.
Ash, I like that. Oh God, why?
I can hear you.
Ooh, unfortunately. Look, I kind of converted everyone to just be against you.
Well, that's not going to take much.
I also told them about your tramp stamp. I know that was supposed to be between you and I, but
I was gonna release that on the
Tequila
gram
Talks,
later this week.
So,
all right, what did you have? I missed all of it.
I didn't say anything.
You didn't say your third movie?
No,
yet?
I was about to say it, but then you said you couldn't hear me, so that I stopped. Okay. Wait, so you can hear me? Just making sure.
I can hear you now. This has happened one other time where the audio in StreamYard just says we're done, and so I have to bail on my own stream and come back.
I feel like I'm in one of those like early 2000s Verizon commercials.
Tony, if you remember Tony from last week, Hack the Movies, he I think is the only guy that has more technical issues than I do on the stream. It's quite hilarious.
That's hilarious.
Okay, depressing.
Well, since you can hear me.
Yeah.
So this might definitely a little bit more out there pick, but I feel like we could definitely bring back the Pink Panther. Yeah, that's right. You can laugh it up, dude. But I think I have a pretty inspired choice because I mean, obviously the Steve Martin movie sucked. They don't even hold a candle to the Peter Sellers, franchise. But I think someone who Hollywood tried to make a leading man, but he went off and did his own weird thing, and his career is the better for it, and he's just been delivering and delivering and delivering. I want Dan Stevens as Clouseau. I think this is the guy who was in The Guest. He was in this year's Abigail. He was in Cuckoo. He was in the latest Godzilla movie as like the monster dentist guy. He is one of the most charismatic, versatile actors that I feel like his goofiness, his inherent goofiness would be incredible in that role. And I feel like he really needs that role to shine comedically and not like he hasn't before, but putting him front and center like that, I think he would be a great choice.
I don't think I've ever been at a loss for words more in my life on a topic. The Pink Panther. This is what we went with?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Got to go out there.
Does
Gotta
this
take
have
swings.
some special place in your heart that you'd want to see?
I just kind of thought let's try again.
Is Mr. Magoo next up on your list, or
it's probably in the top 10?
Dudley Do Right in there, George of the Jungle. Pink Panther. I remember seeing the Steve Martin movie and hating it. Didn't they do another one years later with Beyonce? Am I remembering that right?
I don't think so.
I think there was a Steve Martin Beyonce.
Wasn't she in one? Was she in the second one?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't remember. I know she was in an Austin Powers movie.
Yeah, she was Foxy Cleopatra, but she was also in The Pink Panther, which came out in 2006.
Yeah, that was the Steve Martin one.
Okay, so that's the only one then. I only know Pink Panther really from that and the cartoon version. Is that the same guy? What's
No, Peter Sellers was live action.
So what's the Pink Panther cartoon cat thing? Is that just it's nothing?
That's I think I'm trying to think. I think I never watched like the animated stuff, but I remember like the goofball comedies with Peter Sellers, and I love that kind of humor, that like physical comedy. I love it.
I don't even know if the Pink Panther cartoon character was a show or if it was just a mascot for some insulation company. I think that's all it was. And that's like what I know the most. Yeah. It's like they were targeting kids with insulation. Like, hey kids, we got this Pink Panther. Come hug some insulation. All right, Tom, that was definitely a pick. I'm sure there's one person watching that's like, fuck yes, finally.
No, there was.
Pink.
There was somebody who was like, that's great fucking casting. I was like, yep, we got somebody on board. We got someone on board.
Cut to interior of a dude's room, and he's got like Pink Panther posters and memorabilia.
Yeah,
and he's like yes.
You think this is my room? This is fucking green screen.
Yeah. All right. It's hard to top that.
But you'll try.
I'm gonna go with I think this is maybe the safest bet that you could do.
Go for it.
Days of Thunder, who gives a shit? Maverick. Call it the same thing. It doesn't matter. Days of Thunder, Cole or Trickle, whatever. We're going to do the Top Gun Maverick thing with Days of Thunder, which, let's be honest, Days of Thunder was better than Top Gun to begin with. Just didn't get the same amount of praise. NASCAR is massively massively popular. I don't know why. It just is. And we had that movie last year that for some reason was actually really good. What the fuck was that called? Gran Turismo, based off of the PlayStation
That was
game.
shockingly good.
Shockingly good. And it made a lot of money. It made 122 million at the box office off of a $60 million budge, short for budget.
Did you just shorten budget?
Yeah, I do that often, Tom. You got to keep up. It's fast and loose over here.
Oof. Man, it needs to be tighter. It needs to be so much tighter.
So T. Cruz, short of course for Tom Cruise, he's coming back. He's a star. We put him back as Trickle. Maybe bring back like some randos like John C. Reilly or Carrie Ewells was in the first one. It doesn't matter. This is basically a vehicle for Tom. We get to show off all the new cars. We get to show off all that awesome new tech. I just don't see how this fails.
I mean, I feel like it's just like we've gotten a ton of racing movies, and a lot of them that have been like Ford versus Ferrari, that was fantastic. Gran Turismo was really good. The Chris Hemsworth Rush movie, that was really freaking good too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard to make a compelling, racing movie that really stands on its own 2 feet. I mean, I think we have that new F1 movie with Brad Pitt, directed by Joseph Kosinski, who did Top Gun Maverick, coming out next year, which could be really good. So I feel like Days of Thunder, I don't know if that's an 80s classic we want to dig up, but I think that really depends on who you cast. And
Dayland Motorsports is bleeding money. Okay, they haven't won a race in half a decade.
Is this a financial plea? Is that what this movie is?
This is the premise of the film.
They're in the red.
This is the premise of the film. There's some hotshot company that's been winning races for half a decade, and they're giving a bad name to the sport. Dayland needs a hero. They bring back Tom Cruise out of retirement. They bring him in. He has
Tom Cruise alone.
No, Tom Cruise.
Let him do other shit.
Tom Cruise is running on Pennzoil and Scientology. He's ready to get back in the car.
Oh,
this is an easy win. You cut out the bullshit love story and you just make it about the passion of the race car. It's easy. It's an easy win.
All right.
And he has the star power. Maverick made like a stupid amount of money, like $1.5 billion.
I'd rather see him make Edge of Tomorrow 2 before that one.
That's like the one movie where I don't think they really can come up with a compelling script.
I don't think they'll ever going to. I feel like they realized the first one was a miracle, and they're like, I don't think we could do that again.
It was a miracle on like every front. They retitled the movie 3 times, and it still managed to find an audience. It was, I can't remember the original title.
It was Live, Die, Repeat, wasn't it?
No.
Or All You Need Is Kill. I think that was.
Yeah. It was something like that.
Because that's what the story was originally called.
And then they changed it to Edge of Tomorrow. And then, yes, they repurposed it as Live, Die, Repeat when it went to streaming and DVD.
And then it was like Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow. I was like, just pick a lane.
Yeah. And then the sequel was going to be called Live, Die, Repeat, Repeat.
Yeah. My God. Please, God. No.
Edge of Tomorrow 2. So bad. All right, so you're on board for Days of Thunder, obviously.
Yeah,
Everybody
totally.
loves the idea.
Yeah,
okay,
you got it.
What do you got? What else? What else could we possibly pull out of our hat? You got a what is it? Citizen Kane 2?
Oh, absolutely. Next up is going to be Psycho.
They already made a Psycho 2, I think.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. No, for me, I think this is a more recent stab that they tried, but I felt like it was just such terrible casting and just a real limp effort to try to make this video game adaptation. I think we need to redo Uncharted. 100%. I adore the video games, and the casting was so terrible with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg that are nothing like their characters. The story was the most generic thing I've ever seen. There's such good story in those games. None of the action sequences even came close to any of the action sequences in the games themselves, even though they tried to redo those action sequences in live action. You just need to cast someone better. I know Nathan Fillion's too old now, but someone who's got that same kind of vibe, who can channel that Nathan Drake, would be great. But yeah, we need to redo it. It's so bad. And it's a shame that they even call this Uncharted.
Three things for you, if I can keep them all straight in my head. Number one, Nathan Fillion was the perfect Drake. I assume you saw that fan film.
Yeah, it was great fan film. Great fan film.
For a fan film, it was really good. He was great, of course. He is too old. Number two, this was a video game, kind of, but Uncharted's were cinematic, freaking
they're
awesome
so good.
experiences.
Sometimes I forgot to even play the game. It was so good.
And that's the problem is when you're making a book into a movie, it's just a completely different medium. And some video games, obviously, like Mario, where there's no story, easier to translate, make your own thing. But Uncharted had like really good stories, really good motion capture. So we like knew what these characters look like. And to go from, from Drake, who was in his 30s, maybe early 40s, rough and tumble, sarcastic, to like baby Tom Holland.
Yeah, it was just like the worst. The worst.
And then Mark Wahlberg, who was supposed to be Drake.
Dude, when they gave him the mustache, I was like, fuck off. I was like, are you kidding me, dude?
I mean, he was supposed to be Nathan Drake originally.
Yeah,
which was also terrible.
Which was even terrible. That was in and of itself was terrible. Oh my God.
It's just bad casting, but unfortunately, I don't know if I did 3 things, but the third is they already have the second one in the works.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, I'm just trying not to think about it.
Yeah, I'm with you though, but it's too soon. They won't do it for a long time. And also, Sony is maybe the worst production company out there. I don't think they make good movies at all anymore, outside of Gran Turismo, which was an accident. But they have
or Spider-Verse.
Yeah, animated is like his own thing. But they have the Men in Black movie they made that was awful.
Oh,
they have
God.
There's just a string of terrible films. All the Sony Spider-Man universe movies without Spider-Man, like Venom, Morbius, Madam Web, they just make bad stuff. So yeah, I don't have any faith in Uncharted being good until Sony like gives it to Universal or something, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, this is fresh. This is a wound I'm going to open up.
Uh-oh.
We need a Matrix movie called The Matrix Rebooted. It fits with the theme of the fucking Matrix itself, which always reboots. We are going to do the ultimate soft reboot here. It doesn't matter when it takes place. That's the beauty of the Matrix. It can be in the future, it can be in the past, doesn't matter. But we are going to take it. We're going to play it off of all 4 of these films. It's resetting the Matrix, new cast. We don't have Morpheus in this. We have a new Morpheus. We have a Neo, of course, but it's going to be like a Timothée Chalamet or someone completely fresh-faced younger. Chalamet, we get that.
What a life he must live, where in every casting room, his name gets thrown around at least fucking once.
I don't know any.
And he's probably like eating blueberries in his apartment somewhere.
I don't know any actor under the age of like 30.
It's insane, dude. Chalamet. It's insane. Like it was Tom Holland for a while, but now it's Timothée Chalamet. Like every conversation.
We're gonna have the architect make a snooty remark about how the Matrix has been rebooted and there's been a lot of failures over the years, and then in the background on one of the screens, it's going to be a scene from the Matrix 4, just a little tongue-in-cheek humor to be like, "Hey, this exists. It's fucking terrible. We're moving on. We're moving past it." Keanu won't be in it. Carrie-Anne Moss won't be in it. This is just it's got to start over. But there's so much rich story here. There's so much cool shit you can do with the Matrix. It's just a shame that we have to be burdened with that one really, really terrible thing by a director/creator that clearly hated the movie franchise itself, or maybe just Hollywood itself at this point. Get a new director. I would love more than anything if David Fincher could get out of his purgatory with Netflix deal and make a fucking Matrix movie. I think that would be amazing. It's not going to happen, but that would be the dream for me.
I say keep it dead. Like I love the Matrix. Like I even enjoy the sequels to certain degrees. Like I don't think they're nearly as bad as people make them out to be. I think they're very entertaining. But
I like them all.
Yeah,
I like the 2. Yeah.
But that first film is absolutely classic. I feel like if anything, Resurrection proved that like I think we really should just let this franchise go. And I think, I just don't really need to revisit it anymore. I don't even want to, because it kind of did feel like, in a way, like a soft reboot. Yes, you had some old characters, but also there were new people playing characters we knew. So we kind of got a taste of what it would be like to have like a new Morpheus or, a new Agent Smith, that sort of thing.
No. Ty, you're misunderstanding. There's no Morpheus. There's no Agent Smith in this.
I know, but you were talking about like people who are going to like, there's going to be like a new kind of Morpheus and we're going to have like a new kind of Neo. So like we got a taste of like what that could be like. And I just did not like.
Neo is really the only thing that needs to remain. Because that's kind of that's what the Matrix has.
Well, we got that with the Lego movie, no?
Yes, that's true. That's true.
I mean,
we already got it.
We kind of already got it.
We already got it. The Lego movie.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. It's done. It's dead. My life is over.
Anyway,
all right, what else you got? Is this your last pick, or do you have two more?
I have two more in the chamber here. So another one that like I would like to see, just because I feel like it's such an easy like rinse and repeat, like get new stars, make it really fun, breezy, light on its feet. Let's make a new Ocean's 11. But like, I'm not saying bring back Clooney and Pitt and Damon and all them. They're getting older, and I kind of want some fresh faces. And I feel like this concept is great, like a team of con men, just on some huge heist. And I feel like if we got some of these great up and coming stars who are super charming, charismatic, get a really colorful cast together, I think that this could be a super good time and spawn like a new Ocean's franchise. And I would totally be into it.
Last week I kicked you off the show temporarily for being racist, of course.
Oh, how dare you?
I might have to kick you off the show again for being sexist, because we already have the soft reboot of Ocean's 11. It's called Ocean's 8. It came out, had strong female leads.
It was still kind of connected to the original.
And we needed 9 and 10. That's what they set up. Ocean's 9, Ocean's 10.
I'm just saying we need to try again. Like I'm saying, we need to try again. They tried, but we need to try again.
Did that movie not do well? I don't actually know. Obviously,
I think it did all right. I
wonder why they didn't continue it. Like, the movie was fine. It wasn't.
It was fine. It was fine. But yeah,
I mean, it had Anne Hathaway look like a complete snack in that film. I don't know. Listen, Ocean's 12 is horrible. That's.
I like Ocean's 12. Yep. All right, do it.
Am I just there? He's gone. Okay, we can listen. I cannot. Racism and sexism I can tolerate, but praising Ocean's 12, that's just too much.
Grow up.
And then Ocean's 13, fun fact, to this day I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I've never watched it from beginning to end.
Ocean's 13 is basically just a not as good Ocean's 11. Like, it basically tries to do the same movie.
That's what I figured,
but it's entertaining, but not as good as the first movie.
Yeah, who's the villain? It's like the budget version. Oh, it is Pacino. Okay. Yeah. Huh. There's like another actor that's like Pacino, but not Pacino, and I always forget his name. He was
Andy Garcia?
That's a fair guess, but no, it's the dude that's in End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh God.
Do you remember the villain in that movie?
No, I don't.
End of Days, IMDb. It is Gabriel Byrne.
Oh, Gabriel Byrne. Oh, that
Gabriel
guy.
Byrne.
The guy who was in Usual Suspects?
Is he related to Rose Byrne? Now I'm going down a rabbit hole.
Oh, God, here we go. Let's watch him go down a rabbit hole in real time. Great. They'll really love this.
Someone has Googled it. They're not related. Okay, guys, we learned something new. Rose Byrne and Gabriel Byrne are not related.
Wow. What a revelation.
That's how you pronounce the name. What were we talking about? I blacked out for a little bit.
You were saying how Ocean's 12 was the best Ocean's movie.
That does sound right. Yeah, that does sound like something I would say.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I guess. I mean, so are you thinking? You said you're like up in the air, George Clooney, if he comes back, and Brad Pitt.
I don't need them in the movie. I rather really be like a reboot where it's just like fresh faces, and we get a new team, and we just try to do something fresh and new. Like I don't want to rely on the old cast. Like, let them do their own stuff.
So we of course have Timothée Chalamet in this.
Naturally, he'll be the leader. Tom Hardy, why not? He's great.
Stranger Things kids are in it.
Let's put Charlize Theron in there, but as Furiosa.
And then Anya Taylor-Joy replaces her halfway through the film, but they don't mention it.
But as her character from The Northman.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's better. Remember in Ocean's 11 when wasn't it Bruce Willis or someone randomly shows up and they're playing themselves? That was terrible.
Yep.
Who was that? Was it Bruce Willis?
Yeah, Bruce Willis plays himself, and then Julia Roberts has to like basically pretend to be herself.
That was so bad. That movie sucked, huh? I don't know why you like that movie. It's the Pink Panther of the heist films. Just awful.
Wow, what a callback. Callback.
Thank you.
You're so
It's
clever.
It's a callback to the Pink Panther in the last week when I kept doing that same terrible joke.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go to the number one on my list. This is an undisputed champ of great ideas. The Harry Potter franchise is amazing. All right, it's
Aren't they already doing a show?
Just let me cook.
Okay, all right.
It's spanned several amazing theme parks, with the third one being added on to Epic Universe coming in 2025. I'm super stoked for that. Although they foolishly, because this was probably planned out for like 10 years, they foolishly kind of put Fantastic Beasts into the theme park. Remember that chestnut, Tom? Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic what?
Yeah, exactly. The failed prequel, whatever it was supposed to be, 5 or 6 movies to Harry Potter with Newt Scamander.
Dear God.
Awful movies. But what we need to do is we need to get Harry back in the game. We need to get Hermione and Ron. We take this from adults. Harry is an Auror. I think that's how you say it. Auror. Basically, he hunts down evil magicians, evil wizards, to be more appropriate. To be more short for appropriate. Hermione's going to be in the mix.
Can I kick you out? Like,
yeah, I think you might be able to. I don't know if it's possible or not.
Ugh, damn it.
This is what we need for Harry Potter. We need Potter back in action. I want to see that lightning bolt even like more pierced down, maybe cut through the eye, down the cheek to give it more of a badass scar impression. No Voldemort. We're going to have a new villain. Completely new story, of course. It's not a reprise. It's not a retread. It's brand new stuff. Let's make it 4 or 5 films. You have $1 billion easy in one movie, and then you just keep building the cash pile. Daniel Radcliffe, Hermione Granger, or Emma. She'll always be Hermione to me, but Emma Watson. They've done their thing. Okay, they've had various degrees of success. It's time to bring them home. Let's bring them back. Okay.
I really saw your eyes during that pitch, and I was really trying to pick up on some passion. I didn't get any. I'm gonna be honest.
Halfway through my spiel, I was thinking like, oh, nobody likes J.K. Rowling anymore. But yeah, we'll just.
I feel like you lost faith in your own pitch halfway through, but you're like, I've come too far.
We'll set Rowling over here. She can pass the torch to another creative. She can just kind of oversee it. Yeah. No, there's money to be made, and there's fans to be happy.
Yeah, like halfway through that, you're like, look, I already made 20 copies of the script. I've already passed them out. I've already gone a bridge too far.
Let me just pick up the booklet I have here. This is the first issue.
I mean, if they could take Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which is on Broadway right now, which is essentially a sequel, to that original.
I don't know that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying
it has to do with Harry and their kids and stuff, and them as adults and stuff. If they could improve that story, because that shit read like fan fiction. It was a terrible
I heard it was terrible.
Story. It was a terrible story.
Yeah, I haven't read it.
If they could like fine tune that and try to tweak it a little bit, because I love the idea of Harry, Ron, and Hermione as parents and their kids getting into mischief and them somehow getting involved, kind of like Goonies. See, callbacks. Doing something like that could be fun.
I agree, but I almost feel like maybe 2 storylines going on in tandem. Like Harry's off doing darker, more adult stuff, hunting down evil wizards.
2 cases are actually the same case.
And then meanwhile, his son's dealing with his own bag of worms, quite literally, because maybe the Weasleys put something in his bag, which are worms, at the school. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that could be mischief could be managed, I think, between 2. Yeah, you like that? Subscribe. There's a subscribe button somewhere.
Just ask me to subscribe. Yeah. You like that? Subscribe.
Let's go ahead and hit that sub button down there.
Jesus.
Sometimes I'll say it when I'm out in public, forgetting that no one can actually subscribe.
Yeah, you like that? Subscribe.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
The waitress is like, what?
It's like, I'm just here to take your order.
Dude, I'm just trying to make some tips. It was a courtesy laugh to begin with.
Oh my God.
All right, so Tom is super pumped for a new Harry Potter. Everybody is.
So amped.
We can get a new theme park off of it. All right. What is your final, I guess, grand finale of the night?
I feel like, because I feel like they tried to make good sequels to at least those first 2 movies, I guess, but they kind of got, well, actually, aside from the third movie, they just got kind of worse after that. Die Hard. I would like to see like a new version of Die Hard where it's not John McClane, it's just a different character. We're not touching that character, but we get a new action star, a Timothy Chalamet, if you will.
I was about to hate you, but then you did the Timothy Chalamet joke and you pulled me back.
But make it R-rated again, because I feel like they neutered Die Hard by making it PG-13 with the 4th film, and then they tried to go hard
R again for that amazing
but that was
film.
a terrible fucking movie.
So bad, yeah.
A good day to die hard. Oh my God. We definitely need a palate cleanser after that one. But I remember there was talks of Bruce Willis coming back for one more, but then obviously you know what happened with his health and everything. So that fell by the wayside. But there's so many up and coming actors right now that could absolutely fit that bill of like a John McClane-esque character. Like I think even Gerard Butler in the Has Fallen movies made a good case for like this concept can be done with like a different kind of character, because I feel like that concept of like the everyday man who has skills, you know, kind of against the odds, saving the day. Like I love that whole concept. And if you get someone who's like kind of gruff and charismatic, like a Gerard Butler or like a Bruce Willis, I feel like you could have something fun there.
This might be the first one, and of course it's the last bonus one, where I am wholeheartedly in disagreement with you.
Okay.
So Die Hard to me, it pretty much is just a Bruce Willis vehicle. There's certain roles that are just catered to the actor who played that, and it's just kind of done after that. It's like making a new Tommy Boy without Chris Farley, or even a new Indiana Jones without Harrison Ford. It just feels dirty and kind of wrong. And at the end of the day, like, what even is Die Hard? It's just kind of a dude surviving against all odds. So really, you're just using the name as name recognition and nothing else. I mean, what do you bring into it that's Die Hard-esque?
Just everything. That's like when we're just like on the spot. I don't know, fucking everything.
I mean, there was so many clones that came out after Die Hard. You know, the Hard Rains and the Broken Arrows, and I just listed 2 Christian Slater movies, but that's fine.
That was weird that you went for 2 Christian Slater.
Yeah, it's all right. You like to live. That was kind of the John Wick of that era. Everybody was trying to be Die Hard, and then now everybody's trying to be John Wick, and then whatever comes after that.
I think everyone's trying to be fucking John Wick now.
I know, it's starting to get stale, kind of like how the Die Hard clones got stale. But it's just, I don't know. They were going to do there was talks before the Fox acquisition by Disney.
Yeah, they were trying to do a young John McClane movie.
They were going to do a young John McClane, pass the torch, where they were going to kind of jump from John being old to young, and they're going to show him on the beat, working the streets. What would that have been even?
I don't even know, dude.
That's going to lead into Nakatomi.
I would just love to know who they would have fucking cast. I thought it would have been amazing if they made it Joseph Gordon-Levitt. They did full Looper.
Looper, yeah. He's already balding at
he's like, guys, I mean, I've done this before. This is a slam dunk, right?
Yeah. God, what could be worse than this? I suppose being held hostage in a fucking tall building or something, have to jump off the top of it, but that would never happen. And he winks at the camera and leads into the second film.
Totally.
Yeah, I'm in. You should have left this off, Tom. Really ending on a somber note.
I wanted controversy. You got to bring it.
Well, let's see the controversy from the chat, specifically the super chats of the super variety. If you have any, now put them in. Now or ever, hold your peace, or whatever it is. Okay. Shadow Humor for $5. Spawn remake that's R-rated and directed by Benicio del Toro.
Did you mean Guillermo del Toro?
I think you meant Guillermo del Toro. To be fair, I've done that before too. Benicio del Toro, the actor, Guillermo del Toro, the director, who did what do you got? Lady in the Water.
Hellboy.
Hellboy 1 and 2.
Pan's Labyrinth. Crimson Peak.
Blade 2.
Blade 2. Yeah.
Yeah, he did some great shit. Pan's Labyrinth is easily his best in my opinion, but
good.
Fantastic director. He would be perfect for Spawn. No doubt.
I think they're making Spawn, or at least they're in development.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. That's been in development hell
6.
for a while.
Yeah, Scary Movie 6, Spawn coming out at the same time. All right, not really a soft reboot. He's just looking for a straight remake. Michael for $1.99. I ironically want a Pixar sequel to Bugs Life. People? We're doing soft reboots, not remakes.
Now it's just a wish list.
Yeah, now it's just straight up sequels. And to be fair, Pixar probably going to give you a Bugs Life 2 because they're sequelizing everything. That's pretty much Bob Iger's entire playbook. He's like, who was the guy that was in before him? Bob Chapek. He did like a 3 or 4 year stint at Disney, and then Bob Iger comes back to get Disney back in the black. And they're like, all right, Bob, what brilliant genius tactics do you have for Disney to make money? We're just going to make sequels to everything. It's brilliant. Who could have thought of this? Yeah. Only Bob Iger. So yeah, Bugs Life 2, I would not be surprised if it comes down the pipe.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Matthew Broderick probably needs to eat. You know, what else is he doing? Peter Cunningham. Matthew Broderick was the voice of one of the bugs, right? Did I just make that up? Do we have to look that up as well?
Was he in A Bug's Life? Matthew Broderick? Was it?
I don't know. I hope I'm looking.
Granted, I haven't seen it in a long time, but
he might not be. I might have just pulled that out of my A Bug's Life IMDb. we're back on IMDb.
Here we go.
It's probably not him. I think I've said that before, and people were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Matthew Broderick does not do a voice. It's definitely not Matthew Broderick. Dave Foley, I think. It's Dave Foley. Okay, well, he's the same thing to me. That's an alias of Matthew Broderick. I was right.
Wait, was Matthew Broderick in Ants?
Oh, was that what it was? I don't try to save this.
Because back in the day, I used to get those movies confused all the time.
I'm not getting them confused, but it is possible that I just got the cast confused. But I don't think he's in either. I think I'm just an idiot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm just.
Well, I know
an idiot.
he was the voice of fucking Mufasa. Sorry, Simba. Whatever.
Simba. He was the voice of older Simba.
Yeah, yes, older Simba.
It was only like 5 years ago when I found out that Simba, who was voiced by who's the Jonathan Taylor Thomas from Home Improvement back in the day. He was the voice of young Simba. I didn't realize he wasn't singing as Simba. They had a different actor completely doing.
Yeah, they did that shit all the time.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was given that piece of shit credit for the singing and the acting. I was wrong. I apologize.
Wow.
I apologize.
I'm glad we're here for your apology tour.
Yeah. Peter Cunnington for $2. Thank you, Peter. Bring back Babe the Pig. Yeah, they had two of those, Babe and then Babe Pig in the City. Remember right? I'm not totally up to date on my Babe lore.
Your pig lore?
My pig lore, yeah. All right, The Blind Cinephile for $5. Roger Rabbit and or Looney Tunes, although should be brought back. The Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie made me think they can come back to the movie theaters. I hated that Chip and Dale thing. I know some people really enjoyed it. It wasn't for me. Probably because I wanted an actual Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie and not just a glorified cameo fest of old nostalgic characters. I almost put Roger Rabbit on my list.
I feel like Roger Rabbit is just so perfect. And I feel like so many movies have tried to emulate that live action meets cartoon and just hasn't really worked nearly as well.
Well, I just thought of Space Jam 2 and how atrociously bad it was. And then it made me think that's what Roger Rabbit 2 would be. Looney Tunes is coming out with a new movie I saw. There was a trailer for it, and it was very funny. Just the little clip. It wasn't.
I'm so bummed that we're not getting that Acme movie. It sounded so funny.
I know, but bizarrely, they are making like a Looney Tunes movie. I saw.
Yeah, I know.
It was
I don't
great.
get it. Like, you won't release this other thing, but you're still going to make Looney Tunes movie? Like, whatever.
It's so weird.
I don't get it.
Maybe they're going to see how the Looney Tunes movie does, and then
they'll bring it out of purgatory or something.
Yeah,
it's like, surprise! This is going on Max.
Yeah, I don't know. Looney Tunes back in action, I think, is not great, but
I actually like that one. Really it's not bad.
Yeah, it's okay. It's got moments for sure. Shadow Humor, $5. What about a Big Chungus film? I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Big Chungus. We're on IMDb. Oh my god, that's the fat version of Bugs Bunny.
Oh Jesus!
It's kind of like, do you know who Sonic is? You know the Sonic meme?
I do not.
Oh. Sonic is Sonic, but drawn horribly. It's like a kid's.
Oh, so like that.
Drawing.
So like the ugly Sonic.
yeah. That's what it is. Ugly Sonic and Sonic are basically Sonic came out first, but it's like this kid's shitty drawing, and then he's got a speech bubble that says "Gotta go fast." So it's just a funny meme. That's the Chungus thing.
All right.
Rob K for $5. Thank you, Rob. Speed 3, please, with Keanu Reeves, not Jason Patrick. It could take place on a train. Well, they did that with Under Siege 2, I think. Anyway, we'll keep going. And be a whodunit where the villain is revealed at the end. Skate, date, 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 date. Pop
so
quiz,
Speed
hot
meets
shot.
Knives Out. Okay.
There's a bomb on the train. Skate, date, 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 date. It could be on a plane also.
Yeah, I mean, just any form of transportation, really. I would love for it to be. I would love for it to be on a hot air balloon.
If this hot air balloon goes over 5 miles an hour, we gotta slow this thing down.
If this hot air balloon hits a single cloud, we'll explode.
There's a bomb attached to the bottom of your surfboard. Oh shit! He's just surfing the wave.
If this scooter goes past 15,
if this Segway goes any faster,
if this pogo stick goes above 10.
He's just leaping to different pogo sticks. If this unicycle goes over 3 miles an hour, that'd be hilarious. Keanu Reeves is like, whoa.
If this
Sandra.
If this sack stops being hacky. Matthew McConaughey starring in that one.
Oh, yeah. And then you get Stallone in there just to do the grunt sounds. Like,
oh, my God.
I bring this up randomly, but do you remember the movie Daylight with Sylvester Stallone?
I do not. Holy shit.
Apparently his kid was in it for a little bit. But anyway, there's a scene in that movie where he's lighting one of those little glow stick things to see in the tunnel, and he straight up goes, when he snaps it. It's so freaking hilarious.
That's amazing.
He just used all his strength in the world to snap this thing. I'm a man.
I mean, I think we've pitched at least like 10 great Speed ideas.
Yeah, Speed's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We might get too many Speeds.
We got a whole franchise planned here, people.
And then the final meta commentary of Speed is you have to keep pitching Speed ideas or it blows up. Like, okay, Speed 36. Yeah. Michael for $1.99. Looney Tunes back on screen, a sequel from Dante. Okay, all right. Instead of back in action, back on screen.
All right.
Not too shabby. Shadow Humor back, $5. What about a Peppy the Frog movie?
What about a Pee-Pee the Frog movie?
I was thinking Peppa Pig. I was thinking, Peppy the Frog. Yeah. Oh, God. we're so far gone now from soft
honestly,
reboots.
We are way off the rails.
We're just doing meme movies at this point. Can we get a Bully Maguire movie? That would actually be awesome.
I'd watch that.
Bully Maguire. I'm going to put some dirt in your eye. Perm for $20. Shot out of a cannon with $20. Sup guys, short for what's up guys.
Nice.
He gets it. It would be nice to get remakes that are good, but we've been burnt so many times that I'm scared to ask for more. Original franchises are now the only way I can achieve climax. I'm with you.
Dang. That's a lot of blue balls you're experiencing. I'm so sorry.
You know, if only the topic today were remakes, sequels, and not soft reboots, people. Come on. We're doing soft reboots. Night King 01 for $5. Ooh, I kind of like this pick. Escape from New York. Pick a new city, and considering at the end of LA, Snake started the apocalypse when he made the world go dark, it could work. I unironically like Escape from LA. I think it's funny as shit in the best ways possible. You familiar with that one, Tom?
I saw Escape from New York. I never saw the LA one.
Escape from LA features a scene where he has to keep making shots on a basketball hoop.
I've heard.
He does a full court one. It's
Sounds
epic.
so fucking dumb.
It's so good. When this can hits the ground, we open fire. He throws the can up and he just shoots everybody. It's some fun stuff in there. Kurt Russell is the problem, I think. He's not any younger. I mean, what is Kurt Russell
Not a spry
right
chicken.
now? He's no spry chicken. He's got to be in his 70s. Kurt Russell.
I don't know. Apparently he was 100 in that Godzilla show, so he's looking pretty good.
He's 73. He's 73.
Hey, if Liam Neeson can still do action movies, he can.
Oh my God. Liam Neeson is the definition of the speed pitch where you just keep coming up with scenarios for Liam Neeson. All right, this time it's taken on, I don't know, like a Disney theme park ride. And Liam Neeson's there. He was in so many of these freaking Taken ripoffs. It's ridiculous. I think Snake Plissken returning with Kurt Russell at 73 is borderline Indiana Jones 5. I don't think we need that. Not saying it couldn't work. I love Kurt Russell, but I don't know. How's the deep fake stuff going in Hollywood? Can we just CGI him at this point? Just make him.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. Eric for $5. In the horror vein, I think the lesser known series Cube could have a successful reboot, or Maximum Overdrive could be fun if done right. I've heard, is Cube the one with freaking? No, that's The Cell. I think
is Cube the one?
That's not the Jennifer Lopez movie, is it?
I think I'm confusing Cube with Sphere right now.
Sphere sucks.
Is Cube the one with Dustin Hoffman?
Cube's the one with Ice Cube. It's about his life.
Oh, nice biopic. No. Nice.
Yeah. This is with people I've never heard of.
What's the one with Dustin
Maurice
Hoffman?
Dean Wint.
Hold on.
Who the fuck are they? What is this movie? This is a very obscure pick from 1997. I've never seen this. I know it's been mentioned before on the show, but I'm completely out of my element with that.
Okay, yeah. I think I'm Sphere. Yep,
I'm thinking of The Cell, which is okay. The
Cell, wow.
Maximum Overdrive. This has got to be a pick from the Hack the Movies Tony crew because they like these kind of off the beaten path movies. Maximum Overdrive is somewhat known, but I don't fucking know anything about these movies. It's a good pick, Eric, for the right people. EJ Rich, $5. Thank you, EJ. Alien prequel, but based on origin story where they were ant-like species from a terrifying planet, not the stupid-ass Prometheus bullshit. I read something. I think it was done in comic form, but in Prometheus, you saw that, right, Thomathan?
Yes. Now that you've called my real name, yes, I have.
Thomason. The end of that film has that angsty xenomorph, the teen. He's like, I don't like it.
Like the teenage Groot.
Apparently, that the comic strip goes into the lore of what happened to that creature.
Oh, really?
He roamed the countryside looking for sustenance and couldn't find any, so he just died on the top of a large hill and kind of became one with the earth.
Who the fuck was asking for that? we couldn't assume that thing was fucked.
Recently saw that. I don't know why.
No, I would love to hear the pitch me. It's like, look, so we're following that xenomorph, like that baby one from like the end of Prometheus, right? Oh, that's great. So what are we gonna do with him? So we're just gonna follow it for a while. He's not gonna do much, not gonna find any food, not gonna find any people, and he's just gonna die on a hill. Like, what?
He befriends a cockroach like in Wall-E, but nothing happens outside of that, and he just dies alone. Yeah. Very weird. It's not like stupid. It's not like official. I don't think it's like canon or whatever.
I'm pretty canon. Sure that's some bullshit. Oh my god.
Hilarious. Well, I mean, I listen. I don't know if you saw Raised by Wolves, but that show was off its rocker insane.
God, I tried keeping up with that show. It just got real weird.
Ridley Scott has gotten pretty nuts over the years, so I wouldn't be surprised if he took the time to make some headcanon for the teenage xenomorph. All right, Roland, 24, $199. Thank you. Tremors, bring back the bacon. We need K-Bake back.
They tried. They made a TV show and he was in it, and then they canceled it before it even aired.
Several times to make Tremors a thing. There's a lot of those films. They've always been kind of like the cheesy, low budget affair. It would be cool to see like an actual budget Tremors film. But
I feel like they would probably try to make it too serious now. Like they wouldn't have like the humor. I feel like they would go for like hardcore horror, and I'm like, no, Tremors is supposed to be fun and goofy. Like you're missing the point.
You know who could do it, but it has his dance card is far too full. Would be James Gunn. You do a Tremors movie in the same vein as like Slither, where it's horror, but there's a ton of good comedy mixed in. Oh, Nathan Fillion film. Yeah, we got back there. Nathan Fillion.
We got it back.
Shadow Humor for $5. Shadow's just MVP tonight. Handsome Squidward movie, but it's a horror. This guy. He's got
like, every. I think he's just like in a room of his own.
He's got
just
every
throwing
meme
shit at the wall.
He's got the most popular memes up on one monitor, and he's like, "Yes, this is the one that's going to get it. This the Handsome Squidward movie." Appreciated Shadow. Shadow. I always say Shadow Hunter, Shadow Humor. Night King 01 back again for $5. Speaking of Die Hard ripoffs, I think it's time to bring back Under Siege. This would be the single greatest and stupidest idea ever proposed. Under Siege 2 was terrible. The fucking train one. There's a scene where he's like slowly running while the train's smashing into the other one. It looks terrible. He clearly was like running in place, and he could barely run to begin with. They were speeding up all of his movements. He's like, I would think it would be amazing to see fat version of him back. I'm forgetting his name. Steven Seagal. Fat Steven Seagal back in another Under Siege movie. Have you seen him lately?
Yeah, he's up there.
He's not saying no to seconds.
All right, so I'm starting to think you like Squidward, my dude.
No, Shadow Humor was just correcting his spelling error from before. He put
wow.
handsome scoreward. And he wanted to
Ah,
set the record straight.
good for you.
I
Good
said
for
it
you.
straight for him. I corrected it, but he came back with another $5 super chat, so I appreciate it.
That takes balls. Takes balls.
And the last one of the night, Chris Zostek? Chostek? I don't know how to say it. I apologize. $1.99. Next year is the summer of Superman. And that's true. We have the new Superman Legacy, which I think has been retitled just Superman. Or is it, do we know what it's called anymore?
Is it just Superman?
It'd be funny if James Gunn was like, we're retitling this for the third time. It's now called Man of Steel. He walks away.
I think it might just be Superman now.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it was Superman Legacy, and then it was changed. Superman 2020. Let's go to Google. It's called Superman on IMDb.
Yeah.
I didn't like that photo they did where he's like tying his shoes.
Yeah, they made it look like it was AI.
It was just a weird photo, and like the colors gave me a Tron vibe, kind of that synth wave style look.
Yeah, I'm waiting until I see some actual footage to really judge the suit, because I feel like when you're seeing it on a set, it's not indicative of what it's really going to look like in action. So I'm holding out.
Yeah, I mean, the suit's the least of the problems. I just thought the color grading and stuff in that photo was really odd. It was kind of like my set here. I don't want that color for a Superman movie. So weird kind of reveal shot of the hero, but whatever. All right, I think we got through them all. I hope I didn't miss any. While we wind down, if you have any last minute additions you want to throw out, or ads, short for additions, let me know. Tom, why don't you go ahead and do your spiel where people can find you?
Gotcha. If my face is new to you, you can find me on YouTube, Chattel Bash Reviews. Just type that on in, and you'll find my goofy face and plenty of movie reviews, movie content there for you every week. And then you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Tom Chattelbash, and Facebook Chattelbash Reviews, and Letterboxd T Chattelbash if you want to see my terrible written reviews. So there you go.
That damn last name. Chattelbash.
Just so everywhere.
Good. You got to use it. I mean, you have to use it.
I mean, it's a verb. You can chattelbash whatever you want.
I mean, Olinger. What am I supposed to do with that?
Sounds like a bad olive.
Yeah. Or a great one, depending on who you ask.
Nah.
No. But I have the forehead at least.
Yeah, you definitely got the forehead for an Olinger. 100%. If I've never told you that before, you know.
Maybe don't wear glasses at the beach. Maybe I didn't, asshole.
I can't tell if you're bitter. I can't tell if you're bitter.
I'm never bitter, Tom. It's always love all the time here.
Totally.
All right, well, we gave you our thoughts. If you're watching this after the live stream's over, feel free to throw a comment down. Let me know an actual soft reboot. I don't know if a single one of these super chats gave us a soft reboot outside of Speed 3, but that still sounds like it's going to be just a third one. They're not, doing the pass the torch or anything. Really disappointed by the people that gave me money and gave suggestions.
I'm really disappointed by the people who gave me money.
really upset with the supporters of the channel.
The phrasing on that one is
really just disgusted with all the supporters of the channel tonight. Really dropped the ball. Okay, on that note, I'm trying to think if I have anything fun coming up. BeetleJuice review will probably be the next thing you see from me, although tomorrow is only Wednesday. I got to have something else before then. I'll come up with something in between. There will be more rants on the second channel. Adam does rants. Definitely subscribe there if you haven't. A lot of fun cooking up some angsty, middle class, first world problems. You should definitely attend those. And I think that's it.
Nice.
All right, we'll say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Take care, guys.
We'll awkwardly end the stream now for a couple seconds of silence.